The battleship is breaking up the sky. So I'm caught at the junction, still waiting for medicine. The sweat of my brow keeps on feeding the engine. Hope the crumbs in my pocket can keep me for another night. And if the blue sky mining company won't come to my rescue, if the sugar refining company won't save me, who's gonna save me?
Occasionally on the cattle stations there are gates to open and close. These can cause some perplexing moments for navigators, as this sequence shows.
But if I work all day on the blue sky mine, there'll be food on the table tonight. And if I walk up and down on the blue sky mine, there'll be pay in your pocket tonight. And it's a pay sail from a distant shore, and the company takes what the company wants. Nothing's as precious as a hole in the ground.
Even Jim Reddy-Eggs, one of the most experienced of the Aussies, gets it wrong. Watch where he puts the chain.
Who's gonna save me? Who's gonna save? I pray the sense and reason. Who's gonna save me? Who's gonna save me? We got nothing to fear. In the end the rain comes down. In the end the rain comes down. Watch us play.
Japanese rider Yoko Fukuzawa reloads her backpack after repairing a puncture. But it's all a part of a normal day's ride for the plucky young lady, and soon she's on her way again.
Go. Feet up, holding up.
At the rear of the field, the volunteer recovery crews, all graziers from the Condobolin area of New South Wales, do a great job in recovering all the broken down bikes and cars and getting all the competitors to the next campsite. Nothing is a problem to the recovery crews, men and women alike, and their cheerful smiles and helping hands make them very popular with all the competitors. Here they keep a watchful eye on Yoko as she makes up lost time after a puncture repair. South Australian husband and wife team Michael and Anne Willis have become known as the quiet achievers of the safari, holding down second outright in national class in their Mazda utility. Hugh Hodgkinson and Bob Nicholson continue to impress and, despite some small problems, keep the little VW Baja going strongly, just ahead of John and Andrew Coker's Land Cruiser Farm Ute. The diminutive Ritsuko Nishiro is doing a great job in her Pajero, and despite being well behind the leaders, is looking good for a Townsville finish. A tricky gateway, partially obscured from vision by bushes, catches many navigators by surprise. Toshihiro Arai, running strongly in the diesel Bighorn, is now in a top 5 position. Mamoru Inaba overshoots as well, but backs up quickly. A consistent run has put him into 13th place and ahead of many of his able-bodied rivals. The Red Bull dust flies as the competitors race towards Wycliffe Well. No wonder the air filter products of associate sponsor Finer Filter are so much in demand. Steve Riley just scrapes through a tight gateway and races along to try to catch Hedericks. But he doesn't have to wait long, as his teammate has stopped with a flat tyre. Riley stops to see if Hedericks needs a helping hand. Then, when Hedericks says he's okay, thanks, Steve remounts and takes the lead and fastest time of the day.
I used to get paid for doing this.
What have you done?
Just removed the tail shaft, putting 3-wheel hubs on so we can just run in 2-wheel drive. We've broken the front diff. We had a bit of a whoopee back there. But we'll get there. Okay. That's done. I'm coming out, Pete.
Glennie and Ready X are away again, now running with only rear-wheel drive, which soon proves to be a major handicap when they encounter the next soft sandy creek crossing.
I've scraped in there for now. All right, try and get in.
But a drop in tyre pressure and a timely helping hand, and they're mobile once more. Wycliffe Well, overnight camp number 5.
Hey Mom, how you doing? I'm gonna say hello to my mother in Holland. Don't know when I'm gonna be back.
Hi, mate. How's your day?
How much for the clean, is it? Bloody traffic light.
Oh,
Is it $2, please?
thanks. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Okay. Have a good race. Bye. And thanks for $2.
Oh, the waterway.
What happened to you, Lockie?
We had a little roll coming through the section tomorrow. An unmarked corner that should have had a caution on it. Another one, but we just had a little bit of driver error, so we can't get a screen at the moment. We're
Don't stretch it too tight.
So where are you going to get your screen at?
we hope to get it tonight. We hope to get it tonight. Usual General Motors service, they'll get it for us.
You think it'll fit in that hole though? It's sort of a little out of shape, mate.
We'll make it fit.
The morning of day 6 sees a fast and dusty 230-kilometre run east from Whitecliffe Well through the vast Corundie cattle station. Craig Martin in the Toyota has now taken the lead with the fastest time of the day on leg 5, but loses valuable seconds with 3 wrong turns in as many minutes, allowing Doug Manwaring and Keith Wheel's Nissan Patrol to catch him. From a vantage point high on a bluff, the camera catches the action far below as first Martin, then Manwaring overshoots a hard-to-see turn off the main track. Flooding rains during the big wet season last summer have washed away sections of the track, making a rough detour necessary. So remote is this area that the Safari survey vehicle was the first to pass this way in 3 years. Looking like masked aliens in their damaged Jackaroo, Peter Lockhart and Tim Donovan picked their way through the rocks. A very steep and rocky descent of the El Kedra jump up showed the difference in styles and experience of the drivers and riders. Experts like Saka and Arai, Riley and Hedricks take such obstacles in their stride and scarcely slow down. But others like Noshiro take the rocky drop very carefully indeed.
Oh boy, trying to clamp that rubber berry there.
How's it going, Peter? You seem to have a few dust leaks in there without the windscreen today.
Yeah, but I've got two filters. I've got a pre-cleaner here for the dust, and then I've got the final filter here to just keep everything out. So the system's working pretty good at the moment.
That's good. How's the car going after the big rollover yesterday?
Oh, it's going better actually. We straightened a few things while it was on its roof, so she's going pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Finally, a brief rest and a refuel break at El Kedra station.
How's it been going?
Excellent. Nice section.
The bike?
Bike's perfect, yeah, running really well. That middle section, about 190 with all the creek crossings, and that was a bit difficult on the navigation because you just had to concentrate where you were going more than driving or riding. But then, and the jump up wasn't too bad either. But, yeah, good fun. I mean, nice and quick at the end there. So.
How's it feel today, Glenn?
Oh, mate, just got my ICO working and the map roller stopped. So another day of total guessing and going down wrong roads and yeah. Otherwise the bike's good. It's just the things we put on it that's bad. Yeah.
Seven, John, another flat.
Another flat, I've had a bad run.
How many's that you had now?
That's two. And have a look at my front rim. Only bike is split right up the middle. Have to take it easy for the next half of today. Must have a rock out there, I just don't remember, but...
Grady ball.
Oh.
Grady ball. They are.
Wow.
There's no place. No, that's on the right side. Oh, thing. Rock. Have you seen it? Oh. Every time I think they are afraid.
What's the problem, Craig?
Radiator. Damaged plenty, I think. We don't have a drink this afternoon.
The section after El Kedra proves disastrous for Craig Martin as he uses his arch-rival Peter Glennie's Rain Pure sponsors product in a last-ditch stand to top up a damaged radiator in one of the driest parts of... After making temporary repairs, Martin gets going again, but sadly he's shortly spotted under a tree with the radiator unrepairable, and his safari is over.
Hey, all these, right? Boulders of Badger's Farm.
The Queensland border town of Camberwell is home to the safari at the end of day 6, and the local racecourse is a hive of activity as mechanics and tyre crews get to work.
What's going on?
Little Suzuki over here, the chassis is all cracked on it and the floor pan, so we just rolled her over onto its side to make her a bit easier to get to. So the boys are just pulling her all apart, and we'll rip into it with the welder and replate it all up, and they can take off again tomorrow. There she goes. If we break it doing this, Ray, we're in trouble. You wait. So if we can donk that down there, we can get it, and so you can get it, like we can get it so that it's half close for.
Day 7, and a pall of fine dust greets the competitors at the end of Section 1 at Thorntonia Station, heralding the start of a tough but spectacular day through the mining tracks in the hills to the north of Mount Isa in northwestern Queensland. Always reliable for some excitement, Sacco locks it all up as he overshoots a hard-to-see corner, knocks over a tree or two, and away he goes again. This spectacular old mining track through the hills was last used by the safari back in 1988 and has seen only a handful of vehicles from then until today. But despite the roughness, the top drivers are still hard on the gas, striving for every valuable second and showing the skills learned from years of experience in the bush.
We did 500 kilometres with our back axle strapped in with a seat belt because the nut broke off the rod here and the back axle just went straight backwards and went out. So we took the tyre strap off and strapped it forward. It's been a wonderful day, you know. Of course in the first competitive too, never in the last.
My size.
Saka comes to a full stop at the unusual sight of water. In the driest of all safaris to date, this is the only water crossing in the entire 5,500 kilometre course, which, although it's only a non-competitive road section, still makes it a target for the media's cameras. His teammate Arai, who is actually in front in overall time, follows him through. The Kajabi roller coaster was to have been part of a selective section, but a local miner disobeying a road closure and breaching event safety measures causes the section to be cut short, much to the disappointment of competitors. Cloncurry, the birthplace of Australia's airline Qantas, plays host to the safari on day 7. Bad luck for Yoko Fukuzawa, whose bike has lost a sump plug on the very first road section on the day. Her one disability, deafness, has not allowed her to detect the problem in her engine. And so the gutsy Japanese Lasses Safari is over for 1995. But the support shown to her by all other competitors and officials is sure to encourage her to come back again for another try. We sure hope so. Day 8 starts with the fastest section of the event, a 168-kilometre sprint over a closed Shire road through several cattle stations from Richmond to Huggenden in central North Queensland. The top runners average close to 160 kilometres per hour over the section, to the delight of the locals who all turned out to watch the rally action. During a cross-country flight from one section to the next, the chopper crew encounters the spectacular Porcupine Gorge, unknown to most but only a few hundred metres from the safari track. Cattle stations usually mean great competitive tracks, but there are always a few gates that can't be left open. And Anne Willis does the honours for husband Michael on their way to a well-earned second outright in the national class.
Oh, fumbling.
What went wrong?
Well, I just got a little bit too sideways. It was top speed of the car coming down that sweeper, and there's a couple of little bumps there, and it skipped out too sideways and then dug in, and that was it. History.
A lucky escape for the Denhams, thanks to a sturdy roll cage.
Right.
Greenvale, the last overnight stop. And the local bushfire brigade puts on a car wash for the competitors, and the local kids make new friends with overseas competitors.
Go, boy. Go. Boy. Oh, cute, beautiful.
Today's the last day. What's the plans?
Plan today will be just poke along like we have been for the most of the trip. We'll just pick our way through the rough stuff today. Obviously go flat out on the flat sections.
I see you were driving and not Doug today. Is there a reason for that?
Oh, he's too rough in the car. I've got too many dents and we've had a lot of complaints about how rough the car looks. And it's not keeping up a good image.
Oh, just keep it tidy. We're too far behind to catch up. We gave ourselves too big a disadvantage with our busted radiator early in the event. We're just going to take it easy and go to the finish.
The cars roll out of Greenvale on the start of the final leg to Townsville. 3 short but tough selective sections stand between them and the finish line.
Second overall and third from yesterday, and we tried to keep the second overall. Not that easy. 8 minutes behind us is Isuzu, so we try to drive careful but not too slow.
The Australian Army training tracks of Doddswood Station provide the last 2 selectives, the final test for drivers and vehicles before the run into Townsville. The Keese-wheel Doug Manwaring Nissan Patrol holds a handy lead, followed by Glennie's Toyota, but he's dropped too much time earlier in the event to be in contention. So outright second place belongs to Quant's Mitsubishi Pajero, and then Arise Isuzu Bighorn Turbo Diesel is in third. All are driving well within their capabilities, determined to maintain positions to the finish. Townsville's Jeff Pickering, now on his home territory, goes for it, hoping to pick up a place in the final leg. Inaba pilots his hand-controlled Pajero through the last selective as Heddericks charges past on his way to an outright motorcycle victory.